Oh, it's a phrase that pays. 3, it is the magic number. We're roughly 72 hours till kickoff in Philadelphia. A rematch from last year's playoffs. That's right, Falcons and Eagles. So with that being said, welcome once again to NFL Total Access. I'm Cole Wright. That's David Carr. Reggie Wayne, he's also here. And of course, David has zero opinion on the Khalil Mack trade to Chicago.
What happened to Khalil?
We won't discuss that later in the show at all. You have an opinion too, Reggie?
No, I don't.
All right, well, we'll talk about that in just a little bit. And Khalil Mack, still our first topic of discussion today because his Chicago story, it is fully underway. Now, Mack in practice session numero uno with the Bears, looking to build upon the already potent top 10 Chicago defense from a season ago. Now, his trade from Oakland still sinking in with his former teammates. We're going to hear plenty of reaction from Raiders quarterback Derek Carr straight ahead. Funny how that works, isn't it, Dave?
Interesting.
Now, the Bills, they have named a starter at quarterback for their Week 1 tilt versus Baltimore, and he goes by the name of Nathan Peterman. Peterman distancing himself from rookie Josh Allen, the Bills starter, throwing 3 touchdowns to just 1 preseason interception. A good luck in Game 1. And the Le'Veon Bell saga, it continues in the Burgh. Bell still a no-show with the Steelers despite Week 1 officially being underway. Now, last year, same song. Bell didn't report until Week 1, and needless to say, he got off to a slow start. And it's Browns and Steelers to kick the season off once again. Aditi Kinkawala, she is with the Steelers. And Aditi, still no Lev Bell. What's the latest?
Well, Cole, it's not actually the same song as a year ago because a year ago he was already here on Monday. He'd come in on Friday, he took his physical, he signed his tender on Monday. This year he has not. He was not here, and Steelers GM Kevin Colbert actually released a statement today saying that he's disappointed Bell isn't here to rejoin his teammates. Now, as for those teammates, they were generally ho-hum about it. Marquise Powney, newly elected a captain, said that the Steelers will celebrate him when he comes. They will welcome him with open arms, and they fully expect him to be the best running back in the league when he gets here. As for when he will show up, Pouncey said to me he'll be here Wednesday. Count on it. I asked him very specifically, Cole, I said, is that because that is what Bell has told you? He said no, but if I know Le'Veon, he will be here Wednesday. And so, Cole, our watch continues.
Well, last year it may have been the same song, but Aditi, it was a different dance. So this week should be interesting. Aditi Kinkawala with those Steelers with the very latest. Now, guys, last year, Week 1, just 32 yards for a guy like Le'Veon Bell. When it comes to the impact of this holdout as it stands right now, Reggie, what's it going to be?
You know what? If I'm a receiver on this Pittsburgh Steelers team, I'm worried. Okay. I'm worried that Lev Bell is not there. Simply because selfish reasons, Cole. I will be texting him. I will be seeing what's going on when you're coming in because him being on that field helps every other player on that offense. Okay. It makes everybody's play a lot easier. You don't think Antonio Brown loves when Lev Bell is out there? He loves it. You don't think Big Ben loves when Lev Bell's out there? He loves it. You also got to look at it's a first-time offensive coordinator with Randy Fichtner. He wants Lev Bell. It makes his play calling a lot easier. So him not being there, it would have me worried, and I would be blowing his phone up, guys.
How are you going to feel this from the top down with no Lev Bell in Pittsburgh right now?
I mean, Reggie's exactly right because now you're taking a coverage dictator away.
Exactly.
Right? And now all the coverage shifts to Antonio Brown. And we're the one guy that can step up. If Le'Veon doesn't come, it's kind of interesting because at this point, we were kind of talking about in the production meeting, when guys hold out, they usually show up around Week 1 because if you don't and someone comes in to replace you and they play better, now what do you do? If James Conner goes in and rushes for 150 yards and the Steelers look great on offense, where did Le'Veon Bell's leverage go? Out the window. So James Conner is a good-looking back. They love him in Pittsburgh. If I was Le'Veon Bell, I would be a little concerned, and maybe Aditi's right. Maybe he is going to show up on Wednesday. I would prefer that he do that. I think that if I was him and I was his agent, I would say, we got to get in here. Okay, enough's enough. We got to make this happen because you don't want someone taking your spot.
A few extra targets going to come Juju's way, you think?
Absolutely. I think everybody's targets goes up.
No doubt.
Lev Bell is that type of player. Yeah. You have to know where he is every single play. So with him not being there, everybody has to elevate their game up.
Well, he has the highest scrimmage yards per game in his first 5 seasons in league history, so everyone on the Steelers hoping that Lev Bell shows up sooner than later. Let's keep it in the Keystone State because Philly putting the final preps on their game plan as they kick off the season at the house versus the Falcons Thursday evening. Now, Nick Foles, he has been named the starter for Doug Peterson and company despite Peterson's rising blood pressure Sunday when asked who's going to be under center.
After consideration and everything and about the football team and this decision, Nick Foles is the starter Week 1. My press conference will be tomorrow. and I'll answer questions at that time. But I wanted you to hear it from me. It is about the football team and the best interest of, the 53, and Nick Foles will be my starter week 1. Thank you.
A more relaxed Doug Peterson perhaps had a nettled tea. Time now to get the lowdown from Mike Garafolo in Philadelphia. So, Mike, the quarterback questions to Doug Peterson, not so crazy after all, right?
No, not so crazy. And look, this has been the storyline for this team all along, but clearly Doug Peterson wanted to be the one that was going to announce it. However, our Ian Rappaport got on it the other day and reported via sources that it would be Foles because Wentz is just not ready at this point. And the Eagles foresaw this. So did Foles, so did his agent. That's why they worked out a revamped contract in the offseason in which Foles would earn $250,000 for every game that he played and played 33% or more of the snaps, and then that number would double to $500,000 if the team wins the game. So $500,000 on the line for Foles Thursday night against the Falcons. But I'd make the argument that there's another part of that contract that's even more important, and that's that he could buy his way back to free agency in the spring. So Foles has a chance to prove that playoff run was no fluke, and he can carry it forward into the 2018 season, set himself up to be a quarterback elsewhere next year.
Okay, Mike, you talk about Carson Wentz and you say that he's just not quite ready yet. What's an update on his health for us?
Look, he's probably about a few weeks away here, and the fact that he even made it close, considering he's coming back from a multi-ligament injury, that is admirable in and of itself. But that injury happened in December. For him to come back now in early September, it was possible, but it would have been a tough road for him. So the Eagles want to make sure that he's 100% before they let him back on the field, in large part because Nick Foles is still there. They had trade offers for Foles, but unless it was going to be a first-round pick, they weren't going to move him precisely because they knew they might need him at the start of this season.
Mike Garafolo keeping it on lock with the Eagles. Good stuff. Thank you, sir. Now, when it comes to the Eagles, Nick Foles, of course, will indeed be the starter, David. When it comes to concerns there for you, what's the biggest one?
My concern is that Doug Peterson is concerned, and that he's been kind of concerned through preseason. Right. Honestly, if we all watched the Super Bowl, left, and came back to the States and found out that Doug Peterson was stressed out, we would be, what happened? You got Nick Foles. He's Super Bowl MVP, played great in clutch situations, big-time moments. What has changed? Some preseason games. I watched the preseason games with Nick. He made some good throws. He had some bad drives, but for the most part, he looked like he was the same guy. He's not going to change over the course of 3 months. So, you throw a couple interceptions, you make some bad plays, stuff happens. It's football, but I know this guy has clutch ability. He has the ability to step into a tough situation. So if I'm the Eagles, I don't feel too terrible about this.
And that'd be quite the vacation if you left first week of February.
It's a long
and come back until the last week in August. That's not a vacation. That's holiday, as they say overseas. Reggie, if you're on the Eagles, how are you feeling right about now with Nick Foles under center?
I'm fine. I'm totally fine.
Yeah.
The last three games of the regular season last year, he was the best quarterback in the NFL. In the last 3 games of the playoffs last season, he was the best quarterback in the NFL. 7 months ago, we were talking about, wow, Nick Foles is going to make a lot of money. He's going to be the hottest quarterback in free agency, Super Bowl MVP. If I'm a receiver there, I'm fine. We've had Nick Foles all off season. Last season, we know what we're getting with him. We know he knows all the throws. He knows how I run my routes, Dave. He knows exactly what to do. So I'm not worried. I'm sitting back. I'm just trying to figure out that vacation that day.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm not worried at all.
Eagles fans hoping they get Eagles Nick Foles, not Rams Nick Foles, because in 2013 and 2017, Foles 13-4. The other 4 seasons, 12-14. Ooh. All right, so let's take a look at Nick Foles by the numbers when it comes to throwing that long ball. If he has to go downfield, well, the number suggests that things could get just a tad bit sticky. As for how the Falcons offense is getting ready for the rematch, time now to check in with Tiffany Blackman in Flowery Branch with more.
How good can this Falcons offense be in year 2 under coordinator Steve Sarkisian has been one of the more intriguing topics surrounding this team. And we know just how much receiver Julio Jones factors into their success. Today, Sarkisian said, I'd be remiss to not say we need to get number 11, the football. Now, Jones said he's feeling the best he has since 2015. And though he didn't play in a single preseason game, it's the way he practices that has him prepared.
Q has the utmost respect for us and confidence in us that we'll be ready to go. And, he put it in our corner to come out here at practice, and just go full speed and make it like game time. once you go out here and practice like that, the game will be easy for you.
Sarkisian also mentioned the challenge the Falcons face. He said quite often they're getting unique looks from opposing defenses because of Julio. But he did say the attention that Jones garners, it frees things up for a number of their other playmakers.